everybody. How are you? It's 9:30 Friday? Good God, I can't keep my day straight. Anyhow, I'm headed out to the Walmart marketplace to get some coffee creamer and pick up some cat food until I get my cat food taken care of tomorrow. And then I got to stop back at the pharmacy and pick up the nitroglycerin. And anyhow, I found out why I was going back to the doctor yesterday, the primary. They thought that I was coming back to have them do a urine specimen to see how my UTI was coming along. And I'm like, what? She says, yeah. She says, check your pulmonary hypertension and that. And I'm like, well, number one, the pulmonary hypertension is in remission, and Dr. Pasquale handles that. I said, and Dr., refused when I was here 2 weeks ago to treat my UTI and wanted me to go find a urologist to take care of it, knowing full well that the results he was looking at were already a couple weeks old, that it had had a lot of time to just bubble in there. And they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I said, that's exactly what he did. I said, he needs to go. He needs to go. And I told him, this is what I told him. I said, he's a fucking prick. Well, I'm not going to tell you who agreed, but a few of them agreed with me, And then when the nurse practitioner come in, and he said, what's going on? And I told him, and he said, he didn't treat you? And I said, no. I said, it's an ongoing issue with me. I've been this way all my life. They can't figure out why I can't handle regular body bacterias, that it backflows on me. And I said, so that's why I was on preventative maintenance Errands. I said, and my last doctor, who became some big shit with the hospital, took me off of it, said I didn't need it. Well, of course I didn't need it. I hadn't had a UTI in a couple years, but I was on preventative maintenance medicine. What the hell? I gotta go to school and get a doctor's license just to tell these dumbasses anyhow. And he said, give me a urine. So I did, and he come back and he says, oh my. He says, it's active. He says, quite a bit. He says, and I'm going to send it out too and make sure I'm treating it. He says, I'm going to put you on Cipro. He says, there's no reason why we can't treat this here. He says, and once we get it cleared up, he says, I'm going to put you back on your maintenance. And I said, exactly. Pretty freaking easy. I said, but because old Docky there was pissed off because the other nurse practitioner left and went back to her hometown, and he had to come in and work, I said, he didn't want to do anything that day. It was quite obvious. I said, and he was supposed to be here today, and he took the day off. I said, so, and he said, no, don't worry about it. He says, I'm going to take care of this. He says, this is what, pick this up at the pharmacy. He says, I'm going to reschedule you to come back and see me. And I said, yeah, because if I don't see you, I'm going to the walk-in. And he said, and then as long as it comes up clear, he says, I'll put you back on that. He says, I said, I'm telling you, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced. He says, well, unfortunately, it's the man that owns the practice's son. I said, I don't care. He's still a fucking prick. I said, that don't make him anybody special to me. I said, I really did not like the way he treated me. I said, and that's the first time in all the time I've been coming here for the last year and something since you guys have become my new doctor. That's the first time I've ever run into anything like that. Y'all are so nice here. I said, but I'm paying some of his wages by coming here. I'm not going to have him pay, my insurance pay somebody that wants to be a jackass. I'm just not going to do it. I'll find a new doctor. He said, no, don't do that. And I said, well, I don't want to. I said, as long as I can see you, I'll keep coming. I said, I'm not trying to cause trouble. I said, but there was no reason why he couldn't have done this a couple weeks ago. And he says, are you feeling okay? I said, well, no, I don't feel good. I said, but the pressure. I said, I don't get that normal burning whatever sensation. I don't know what that's all about that people say happens. I said, but I get horrible pressure. I said, and I got pressure. I know I have it. He says, yeah, you do. So by the time I got done there, I was there a good hour and something. I was just tired and aggravated, and not of him or the nurses. They're all great. So I didn't even go across the street to go to the pharmacy. because I figured it'll wait till this morning anyhow, because I gotta pick up the Cipra, because my appointment was late in the day. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. But I'm gonna go out here to the marketplace first, since I'm already over here. Pick up a couple things. Pick that up on the way back through. And then I'm gonna have hubby load up the van with all the stuff I'm donating to Goodwill up here, and I'm gonna take and get it out of my house. That way I don't have the big boxes sitting in my living room anymore. Let me get over here. This traffic is just weird this morning. It's not heavy, but it's weird. So anyhow, peoples, that's what I'm doing. I got a great surprise yesterday. My son and his girl came. Can't tell you what. But anyhow, I emptied out my fridge and my freezer for them. I said, come with me, because he loves his mama's cooking. And so he got, I can only show you a slice of the raisin bread I made yesterday. It was a great success. I gave him half of the loaf of that to take home. And he wants me to make him some homemade bread, because he had a piece of that homemade bread that I made. He put some butter and jelly. I loved it. And he said, Mama, you know I love your cooking. And I said, what do you want, honey? And he ate some hash brown casserole. Poor thing. He says, Mommy, I miss your cooking. And I'm like, it's okay. So, and nothing bad against his girl, but he got used to Mom's cooking. So I'm going to make him some hash brown casseroles and some breads, and whatever I make for dinner, I'll make extra. And I told him I'm going to make him a to-go thing, and once a week I will call him. When it's ready, it'll be all packaged up, and he can come pick up his goodies. That makes me happy. I love doing things like that, and I love doing it for my son. So yeah, it was a nice visit. We stayed quite a while, and they were updating me on everything, and they're loving their little kitty, which was out of the 3 batches ago of kitties. So, yeah, we're good. We're good. Today's good. I just want to get my stuff done. I'm going to go back home, get in my kitchen. I need to make some more bread. I need to make some more raisin bread. I did make some room in my freezer, because I gave him things I had made up, like some cheese sauce with hamburgers and onions in it from macaronis. I had a shepherd's pie maybe in there. Anyhow, so I filled him up a big bag so they could take that home with them. And parking here. So that's what I did last night. Seeing my son for a while like that did me good, because he works hard and he works nights, so it makes it hard for him to get over to see me. So it was a wonderful thing. Anyhow, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go in here and see what's going on, because there's quite a few people here, and I'll be back. I love you. Thanks for pushing my buttons. See you shortly. Okay, we're back. Got done at the Walmart marketplace. I don't know why I don't drive out here and shop more often, because they don't have all those, clothing aisles and shoe aisles and, all that shit that you buy when you don't really need it, but it's clearanced or whatever. Their stuff here looks a little better rotated and fresher. And they have markdowns at this one. I just got organic bananas for 25 cents a pound. They're ripe, but they're not overripe. You know what I mean? They're just turning yellow. So I grabbed up a bunch of those. I'm going to bake some banana breads and put them in the freezer, make some for my son. And, yeah, I couldn't pass that up. And they had the eye wipes for the kittens here, too. So I grabbed a couple of those. They don't have that kind of stuff at the other one. But in the marketplaces, they focus mainly on groceries and things like that. So I might just drive out here from now on to do my grocery shopping. Yeah, I might. Anyhow, and their meats even look better, even though I don't buy Walmart meats. If I got in a pinch and had to have something quick, I would I'd look at their meat department. Everything looks good. I check the dates. Even the things that are on the clearance aisles still have really good dates on them. So that worked out well that I came out here. I've only been out here like 2 other times, and it's not that far from the house. It might be like 2 miles, 3 miles past my pharmacy. So maybe I'll come out here and shop. I just like that, and they have plenty of employees. Of course, it's not as big as a regular Walmart. And their employees were walking around talking on their phones and headphones, and they were working. So, probably was the reason I decided to come out here, There was one, when I lived in St. Pete, there was one there too, it's when they first started coming out, which was real nice. And I shopped there a couple of times. But, the regular big Walmart was just like 4 blocks up the street where you had everything. They have a little bit of automotive department and, toiletries. They have a pharmacy there. But they don't have all the clothes and the shoes and the toys and all that. So, yeah, that might be my new shopping place. Everybody seemed nice, It was morning. And so we're good. Now I'm headed to the pharmacy to get. Well, I'm excited about picking up the stuff for the UTI, the other stuff, the nitroglycerin tabs. My daddy used to carry them. They were coming in a little vial like that. And the doctor said yesterday, or nurse practitioner said that, and the cardio doctor told me too, they're good for a couple years if you don't open them, but once you open them, they're only good for like 6 months. I don't ever plan on opening them. I plan on them fixing this shit, because I'm not sure how bad pressure or whatever is supposed to be before you use them anyhow. So I guess I'll find out if I ever get there. Who knows? This is all new to me. I'm not surprised because my daddy's mom had heart issues, but she lived to be like 85, and my dad had heart issues for quite a while. He lived to be like about 85. So I'm kind of hoping I'm tending towards my dad's side of the family, because I promised my husband I'd be here till I'm 85, and that's a ways off yet. That's what, 17 more years? I guess we'll see, won't we? Just keep a positive attitude, not worry about it, keep pushing through is what I found out helps, It ain't gonna do me no good to sit home and put my feet up. What good is that gonna do? Drive me out of my mind. I'd be in a nut house, so I'll take my chances. It's a beautiful day. It's muggy. Oh my gosh, I walked out this morning. It was so muggy, I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. So I didn't leave the kitchen door open at all for the kittens to run and go, because you could feel that just like sucking it right in the house. And it looks like it's going to rain again. Everything's pretty clouded up and shitty looking, so I think it's going to rain. And I'm okay with that because I'm going to stay in my kitchen and bake all day. Rearrange my freezer in the garage now that I got some of that out of there and gave it to my son. See if there's anything else in there that I know he likes. I'll make him some breakfast sandwiches. So, yeah, in a few days he's going to have to make another run back to Mama's house and pick up some more groceries. Yeah. I can't tell you how happy that makes my heart to do that for him. And his girl doesn't seem to mind, so we're good. Because I don't want to overstep any boundaries or do anything that'll, upset her, because that's not what I'm all about. So we'll see. Alright, y'all, I'm coming up down here. This is how close or far away from my pharmacy I am to go out there to that Walmart, and I'm almost there. I'm getting ready to come up on the intersection where I do that, and then I have one more stop after that, and then I'm back home. Well, for a bit, till hubby gets the van loaded up with the stuff that's going to the Goodwill. Because I can't seem to nail down my grandson and his girl. They were going to help me with, yard sale and stuff. and which would be nice because I got a lot of stuff. But if not, what I don't donate, I'll just post on Marketplace and sell it that way, and give it for a good price. I got a lot of crafting things, but with all the animals, I haven't had time to sit down. I'm lucky I can sit down and make something for the cemetery, which I've got to do again. We'll be off to the cemetery last week of the month sometime, and that's okay because then I get to see my girls, So it's a beautiful life. It's a great day, guys. We're still here. We all woke up. It's a beautiful day. It is. It is. It is. All right, I'm going to hop off of here because as soon as this light changes, I got like 2 blocks to go. I'm going to hop in my pharmacy, pick up that stuff, and I'll be back sometime. Probably when I get in the kitchen, or maybe sooner. I don't know. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for pushing my buttons. Thank you for being there. Y'all are the best, and I'll see you in a bit. Hey, y'all. I'm back. I'm still in the damn car. I went to the pharmacy. They had the nitro and the statin, which I don't want to take either one of them. But they didn't have the Cipro. I'm like, it was called over yesterday. I was sitting right there when he did it. They didn't have it. Okay. So then they were supposed to call the doctor's office. They said the pharmacist, well, I'm waiting. I'm impatient when it comes to things like that. The pharmacist called. And they told him they sent it over, but they would send it again. Well, we waited. They didn't send it. I said, wait a minute. They're catty corner across the street. Let me go over there, and I'm going to get this. I'm not coming back out. It's Friday, and I need this. I should have had it 2 weeks ago. So I went across the street, and they printed it right out for me, the prescription. So I ran back over to the pharmacy, and I said, here it is. Well, then I heard him say something to one of the girls, and she says, well, I don't know how that got mislaid. Really put me through all that? So needless to say, I wasn't happy. So I waited till they got around to fill it, and I left. However, I think the big problem here is, I know I don't have my seatbelt on. You can hear it beeping. I'm just right down the street from the house. Anyhow, my pharmacy, there used to be 3 locations. And for whatever reason, they closed the one I used to go to, which is fine. This other one's a little farther away, but not much. I don't mind going. Well, apparently when they closed the other one, anything that needed to go there, if the doctor's offices or whatever didn't know they had closed that one yet, they were still sending it. Well, they didn't have a forwarding thing on there. So, if my prescription went there first, it didn't go anywhere. But I don't believe that. I think that's a BS story because my doctor's office knows it's 3, not 2. And when he sent it yesterday, he said, where do you want it to go? I said, it needs to go to the one across the street now because they closed the other one down. I sat right there while he sent it. Anyhow, now they're overwhelmed at this other one since they closed the original one I was going to. They're freaking overwhelmed. They don't know what they're doing now. They've got so many prescriptions and then they deliver. I ain't going through all that. You get 1 free delivery a month. And then anything after that is $6 a delivery. No. I'll save my $6 and drive down and get it. It might cost me 50 cents worth of gas. Anyhow, that fiasco straightened out. I got the Cipro. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about the other ones. So, now I'm getting ready to pull back into the driveway. I'm going to take my stuff in. And then I'm going to take a break for a minute. And then I'm going to get to the kitchen because I got to make more raisin bread. Because I saved 2 slices. I gave the rest to my son. And I got a couple outside cats that want to be fed. Downey's right here waiting on me. He was waiting on me when I left, but I didn't have time. Anyhow, y'all, I love you. Thanks for stopping. I'll be back. And when I get the raisin bread done, I'll show it to you. It's beautiful. And I love that new loaf pan I got. I'm going to order another one. All right, y'all. I love you. Thanks for stopping. I'll see you in a bit.